Xbox are definitely going through an interesting time at the moment. They've risen their price again, and a lot of people are complaining. The internet is talking about Xbox being almost dead at this point. They've not really upgraded the hardware. That's the first thing. So they're not really staying up to date with the industry. For example, we've got the PlayStation 5 Pro that's released, and Xbox released some new consoles, and they didn't really upgrade it to any new specs that have been anything like worthwhile. The only thing I've seen on the Game Pass that has been worthwhile to want you to stay subscribing is maybe Black Ops 7 and some of the exclusives like Silksong. Including that, you could probably play Black Ops on PlayStation, so it's not really something that's only for Xbox. And then Forza 5 has come to PlayStation, and Gears of War has now come to PlayStation as well. So a lot of the exclusive titles that are the really good ones are not solely on Xbox anymore. They're solely sort of getting to PlayStation now. Now, Starfield, they are constantly updating. I haven't heard anything majorly worthwhile with the game. And even in terms of exclusives themselves, like there's nothing newer that's coming with Xbox that I'm really excited with this. They've just launched their new Legion collaboration with the Xbox as well, but it's still something that I go, I don't know if I really want this that much, you know, as a user of the Xbox. Every time I boot up the Xbox as well, like you're constantly met with updates, which is a good thing to constantly update, but every time there is an update, I log back in and I'm like, well, what was the difference before this? I can't really see what the difference actually was with the update. Every single time that I log in the Xbox, I booted this up this morning, and it was like a 4 gigabyte update. And I'm looking, I'm like, well, what's the difference between what it was before and now? You know what I mean? So that was quite funny. Microsoft Flight Simulator, that's also coming to PlayStation as well. So there's a fair few titles from the Xbox that were solely the reason why you would want to play Xbox now coming to PlayStation. The thing that I would probably stay on the Xbox for maybe would be Forza Motorsport. That's actually quite a good game. There's just not enough there. And then you check the Game Pass as well, and like there's so many games where you go, okay, I'm never going to play this in my life. Like there's so many weird mini arcade games where it's not really worth anything, if that makes sense. Like there's not really much substance to a lot of these titles on this Game Pass. And then when you go through the subscription services, the lowest tier only gives you like 50 games, like it's nothing. And then you get up to the second tier and it gives you a little bit more. I'm on the Ultimate, I have been on the Ultimate for a very long time. Now they're raising the price and it's like, well, what am I getting out of you raising the price? Do I get anything extra? Okay, there's Call of Duty. Is there anything else? Like, I could easily just download that game on PlayStation. Some of the day one releases are quite good. Borderlands 4, like, that wasn't even a day one Xbox Game Pass release. Like, still have to pay full price for the game. And then there's so many other things. I guess like Hogwarts Legacy got added to the Game Pass. That's pretty good. That's a half decent game. And then yeah, Silksong. That's a decent game as well. Hollow Knight. But yeah, I just don't feel like there's enough substance there with the Game Pass to make you want to subscribe to it. Maybe the backwards compatibility with some of your favorite games. Maybe you want to play Halo 2 again. But then again, it's like, you look at the new gen of games and you kind of want something with the new gen to be excited about. Whereas PlayStation, they've got Wolverine to be excited about. With the Xbox, I haven't had anything to be truly excited about because I haven't picked up the Xbox for so long. I haven't played the Xbox in like what feels like a year now. For me, as a long-time user of the Game Pass, like I was really enjoying it at first. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. I feel like at first Forza 5 was really good, but once again, now it's on PlayStation, you know? So many other games, like I tried out Elden Ring on the Xbox. With the Game Pass, I was allowed to get these sorts of games, but now, you know, stuff like the Borderlands 4 not being on the Game Pass day one release, it just, I don't feel like there's enough there to pull a user to want to play the Game Pass anymore, if that makes sense. But there has been really good times to the Xbox during this period that I've had it over the last, I think, 3 years now. So the times when I was playing Elden Ring, or I was trying out Red Dead Redemption 2, or I was trying out the Arkham games, maybe trying some older games that I wanted to replay, in 2025 again. So the backwards compatibility of this console was really good, the quick resume features, but also with the PlayStation, they've released so many new exciting products. And the Xbox, they haven't released a new Elite Series 2, they haven't released an Elite Series 3, they haven't released anything worthwhile in terms of a pro level console for the Xbox. They haven't even done that. The things that they have released are stuff like the Xbox Series X, but with no disc. It's still not that accessible because the price of game consoles have actually gone up dramatically, and that means that it's not as affordable for the everyday user to be able to afford these. And then adding on top of that, now the Game Pass is way more expensive. And even when you look back at Xbox 360 games, not all of these games are backwards compatible. It's only the games that are on the Game Pass that are backwards compatible with the Xbox Series X. Like some of these games I have to still play on the Xbox 360 because the total library isn't on the Xbox Series X. But overall, it's still not a terrible console overall. It's just they're not making the moves to stay up to date with the industry. They're not making those moves like releasing a pro level console. They're not releasing new accessories that are exciting. They're not having any maybe exclusive games. And then they're not having too many titles that are exclusive for the Xbox that are really, really exciting, that make you want to play the Xbox. Maybe a new Halo would help. Maybe a new Microsoft Flight Simulator or something as well. Maybe that would help. I don't know. Maybe if they added a new Fable to the series, that would actually be quite good as well. Maybe Kingdom Come Deliverance being a day one, that would have been good as well. Adding all those major titles to the Game Pass would help beef it up a little bit. You got to entice people to want to subscribe to something. And what would make you want to subscribe? Well, having bigger library of more substance that people want to play. And it's a shame because the game console had a lot of actual potential. They had a lot of potential with Starfield, but it turned out not to be as great as people expected with the gameplay. It ended up being a little bit slower than people imagined, or not as fun. And then they need to constantly update it, but there's definitely games on the Game Pass that are decent. You've got Hogwarts Legacy, you've got Cyberpunk 2077. There are certain games that are quite good, but majority of the time when you look at the Game Pass, it doesn't have that much substance, overall, with a lot of these mini games that are added, and you're just what even is this? I don't want to play Bejeweled or something like that, or Cooking Mama. And overall, for the price point of the Xbox, it's well over $700, and I believe they actually may have increased the price of the console too. It just isn't staying up to date with what the consumer is really wanting with a console. I feel like PlayStation really has that pull these days of what people really want with the console. Even its exclusive game, Astro Bot, it even has a bit of pull to it, you know what I mean? So the Xbox doesn't have that game that is already installed in the console to already play the console, that actually shows it what it does as well with the controller. It shows the specs, but in a really cool and creative way. It doesn't have that with the Xbox. So overall, I've had this console for a while now, and I'm not picking it up as much as I was. I'm just not having as much fun with the console anymore. Is it even worth subscribing to the Game Pass as an honest long-term review of this console? I've got the PlayStation. I've got most of the games I've actually played on the PlayStation. There's nothing pulling me to want to go to Xbox with the day ones that are even on there. I have to pay for Monster Hunter Wilds, I have to pay for Borderlands, I have to pay all these games that are actually new and exciting that I wouldn't mind actually having a go at, that the Xbox doesn't have on the Game Pass. I don't know if the Xbox has that pull for me anymore. What do you guys think? This is an honest point of view. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. What are you guys playing on the Xbox? If you are playing it, let me know.